Part 1. The Golden Age Leeds. United emerged as one of the rising powers of English football in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The club had built a young and dynamic squad, led by a visionary manager in David O'Leary. A team full of stars such as Alan Smith, Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell, and Rio Ferdinand were playing at the top of the Premier League and making waves in Europe. In the 2001 season, Leeds United pulled off a major surprise in the Champions League. They beat strong teams such as Lazio, Deportivo La Coruña, and Anderlecht to reach the semi-finals. However, they were eliminated 3-0 by the mighty Valencia on the doorstep of the final. This defeat was to be the beginning of the club's downfall. Part 2. Financial risks and wrong moves. Leeds United invested heavily in order to remain a top-tier club. Despite huge debts, Chairman Peter Ridsdale was aggressive in the transfer market. Millions of pounds were spent on players such as Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Keane, and Robbie Fowler. However, this was entirely based on future Champions League earnings. The elimination from the Champions League threw the plans into disarray. When the expected earnings did not come, debts began to grow rapidly. The team had a series of poor Premier League seasons, were out of Europe, and the financial crisis deepened. Part 3. The Collapsibility. In 2002, Rio Ferdinand was sold to Manchester United in a record transfer in an attempt to save the club. However, this was not enough. The club were forced to sell more of their star players. They were eventually relegated from the Premier League at the end of the 2003-04 season. Leeds United suffered the brunt of the financial collapse. The club changed owners, players were sold, and Leeds, once one of the biggest clubs in England, were left struggling to survive in the lower leagues. Part 4. Return Leeds United returned to the Premier League in 2020 after years in the lower leagues. Their exciting football under Marcelo Bielsa brought them back to England's biggest stage. However, the effects of past financial mistakes were still being felt. Leeds' story is a great lesson for the world of football. It is one of the most dramatic examples of how financial risks, taken for success, can threaten a club's future. This documentary shows the unforgettable rise and fall of Leeds United and highlights the criticality of financial management in football.